Good morning. My name is Martin Hassner, and I'm the executive director of the Liberal Party of New York. The Liberal Party is endorsing John Catsimatidis for mayor. I don't know how many people know John well enough to understand that this is a force of nature. This is a man with the yearning that's necessary to go through all kinds of energy and drive to not only deliver a message, but to deliver himself and what he feels and thinks and knows about New York. Nobody like him around. We appreciate the fact that Tom Allen, who was our candidate until recently, had delivered a message about education that no one was talking about. There are two impossible problems in this city and in this country: educating our children and getting them jobs. They are walls taller than that building across the street, and no one is doing anything about it. And Tom delivered a message that John heard, liked it, and the message was that teachers need to be trained, that there are reports which indicate that the training of teachers is totally inadequate. That has nothing to do with testing, that has nothing to do with teacher evaluations, that has to do with the organization that literally certifies schools of education, and said, you're not doing the job. John is a businessman. John understands that when he becomes mayor, he'll open the books and he will find out why it is that 11 years after the present administration, expenses are up 55% and taxes and fees have been raised to match those expenses. There has been a lot of talk about stop, question, and frisk. It remains a key factor in the ebb and flow of all the candidates running for mayor. That problem is going to go away with new technology, which will make it possible for New York's police force to know who's carrying without having to stop, question, and frisk. Right now, once again, John has said, let's do a better job of training. Let's do a better job of training. John thinks it's reasonable through private-public work together to set up health care 10 minutes away from every New Yorker. Because right now, health care is an emergency room. There are no more admitting offices. There are only emergency rooms. If you need help, you got to sit and wait. But I think in John Catsimatidis, we have a guy who understands the long haul, who grew his businesses and is still growing his businesses. The attempt at finding jobs for New Yorkers sounds good when we talk high tech, but there are too many hundreds of thousands of New Yorkers who can't and won't qualify for those jobs. In fact, if you listen closely, you know, across the country, we bring in people to do those jobs. It's a big problem. But whether it's developing manufacturing again in New York, and there are signs that people are beginning to get together to want to make things again in the city, or whether it's developing health care so that, in fact, with a better education, young people can go into these healthcare establishments we're talking about. I don't know, John doesn't know, America doesn't know, but we'll find out. That's the commitment. John is the only non-professional politician in this race. Institutions fail when the people working in them care more about themselves than the people they're working for. That's what's happened to American politics. Everywhere, at every level. When there's nothing else for a man or woman to do but run for political office, anything goes. That's not what we have in John Catsimatidis. But he'll be a mayor of the people. This is a very uncommon, common man. He will speak to New Yorkers the way Fiorello LaGuardia did. Now, most of us don't even remember Fiorello LaGuardia, but there's a record. He knew how to reach people because he talked from here and here. Not from his pocketbook, but from here and here. In John's case, it's here. Now, just before anybody asks and I step away from the podium, let me say this. Liberal Party has had its moments and it's had its problems. And this is not a place to discuss either one. But one of the easy things to do will be to say, John just bought another toy. Or, well, the Liberal Party only used to exist for patronage. What a great combination. So let me just say it to you the way it is. We've only asked one thing, that the campaign help the Liberal Party in July circulate petitions so that in November we will be the Liberal Party that the Liberal Party has been for 70 years, a pathway to the election of good government and smart government too. Thank you.